The center of the ring before the bell sounded. Southpaw against a conventional fighter. But in their first two fights, their heads only came together once. Two very clean fighters. Seldom has either been charged with a foul. Pacquiao starting behind his jab. Pattern of the first two fights, Pacquiao throws more jabs than Marquez. Marquez looks to counter with power shots.
Manny is fighting very, very intelligent. Notice he's keeping his balance, doing a lot of feinting before he punches to make sure that he doesn't get counterpunched so easily. And he looks very, very strong. It seems to be just a little bit faster with his coordination and his movement at this stage. Even though no one has landed a punch, he seems to be better balanced.
Marquez tries the jab, just a little bit short. Pacquiao's jabs have been short. He's more active. Some theorized the possibility that Pacquiao might throw a wrinkle into this by laying back a little bit in the early rounds and making Marquez lead so that he himself could find something to counter with power. There's the first hard shot of the fight, a left hand straight up the middle on Marquez's chest. And now Pacquiao again reaches Marquez with the left, this time up top. Little red mark already on the nose of Juan Manuel Marquez. That came from the Pacquiao left hand.
That is what is going to be his signature punch in this fight here. And I'm looking at the way Marquez is standing. Manny's going to try to drive a straight left hand right through the center.
Freddie Roach said, very concertedly, this was Manny's best training camp ever. All I can say to that is, imagine that.
He looks good.
Two shots for Marquez.
Manny looks very fast, very well coordinated. Very, very good balance.
They both look ready. Pacquiao just missing over the top with the left hand. The red mark on Marquez's nose is on the right side, just inside the eye.
These guys have fought 24 rounds, and right now there's a lot of respect between both of these guys. And Manny seems to be just a little bit faster, but I think a lot of it is respect, feeling each other out a little bit. But I've noticed that even when Marquez did let Manny mix, he didn't counterpunch. And you see Manny now doing the counterpuncher.
Absolutely right. He's the counterpuncher now, and he landed a right uppercut. Now he fires the left up the middle again. Marquez hasn't been able to tag him with anything good. Couple of body shots for Marquez there, but Pacquiao won the round, it appeared to me, with a couple of good left-hand shots.
High-intensity round, even if there wasn't a lot of action.
Don't throw in like that. Don't throw in like that. Very nice, very nice. Bring your hands back up to where they're supposed to be, Juan. Very good round. You're going in, you're attacking the body good.
Use that thing, use that foot thing. Use those things a little bit more for me, okay? Make him commit. Make him commit. Use that thing, make him commit.
CompuBox numbers in round one. Marquez didn't really get going, only 7 of 32. Pacquiao only threw 38 punches, landed 11. A couple of them were good, hard left-hand shots. It appeared that Manny was experimenting, particularly in the second half of the round, with laying back, trying to make Marquez lead, and casting himself in the role of counterpuncher. Crowd wants more action to go with all that intensity. Both fighters are still being tactical and relatively cautious. One change that's taken place since their first fight, the development of Manny Pacquiao's right hand. He was a searching left-hand puncher, double jab, left hand, over and over back in 04. There's way more variety in his game now.
Oh, he's a very balanced out fighter there. I love his speed, his defense is good, his balance is phenomenal. he looks very strong, too.
Well, that transformation happened before their second fight, largely, and Marquez still gave him all the problems in the world in the second fight.
Pacquiao leaned in. Marquez got in a body shot. Just missed with a long right hand. Marquez jabbing to the body, trying to create some action here, trying to scare up something that he can counter from Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao's been very judicious, very selective, has landed when he wanted to. Marquez getting ready to take a couple more risks, or so it would appear. He has stepped forward about 6 inches, getting himself into tighter range with Pacquiao.
Pacquiao knows while he has a guy in front of him who's his own size or maybe even smaller, he's also his own skill level, and he hasn't faced that in a long time.
Body shot by Marquez, and then he landed an uppercut at the end of the exchange.
Marquez has did his homework on studying the left hand of Manny Pacquiao after 2 fights in 24 rounds. You see, very much aware of avoiding the straight left hand of Manny's more than anything else.
And you saw him there trying to counter over Manny's left hand with his right hand, something he did so successfully in the first fight between the two. Now Pacquiao lands a left hand, comes back with a body shot. Pacquiao blindingly fast on his feet.
This is the thing I think is more troublesome than anything else that sets him out aside from his punching power. His rhythm, he's got that little jerky moving in and out type. And as the fight goes on, it wears the guy out mentally just trying to keep up with his body rhythm.
Right hook by Pacquiao. Marquez came across with a right hand across the top.
Put your legs out. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to take a deep breath. Right?
Now start moving to the right. Get that foot on the outside. Right? You walking into his right hand.
Put that arm down for me, man. Just relax. Put this feet.
Very nice. Lively when you're boxing. But you can't permit yourself any errors. You understand? The gloves. Clean out the gloves. Clean up the gloves. Sit those punches down.
Second round, CompuBox numbers began to even up just a little bit. Pacquiao 9 out of 42, Marquez 8 out of 30. Marquez landing 6 power shots to only 4 for Pacquiao. Round 3 gets underway.
Thought Marquez won the round.
A far more tactical fight so far than was the case in either fight number 1 or fight number 2, or at least, according to my memory, it seems that way. Harold Letterman gave the second round to Juan Manuel Marquez. Seesaw pattern, I win a round, you win a round, is another thing we saw in the first 2 fights. Left hand over the top for Pacquiao. Kind of a war of nerves in here in round 3.
Yeah, but Manny's speed just seemed to be a little bit faster than Marquez, and that's what's in addition to him looking physically stronger. But his speed is just so much. Even though Marquez is doing good now, but still he's having a problem trying to deal with the speed Manny as he's coming in.
Marquez landed a right hand down the chute. Pacquiao came back with a left hand up the middle.
Manny Pacquiao knows he has to be defensively responsible against Marquez, who's such a good counterpuncher, and as a result, it's muted Pacquiao's offense. He's muted his own offense.
Pacquiao making Marquez miss, but not firing back. Marquez fighting a conservative defensive fight here in round 3. Another jab to the body. Trying to get Manny Pacquiao to bring that guard down just a tiny bit.
These have been so far 3 of the quietest rounds these two have fought.
Small amount of combustion there. Little body shot for Marquez. Left hand over the top for Pacquiao. Marquez sticks a straight right hand. There's a hard right hook by Pacquiao. Best punch of the fight so far. Marquez feels the need to answer. Now the action begins.
Don't just stand there. Don't stand still. Juan, don't stand there. When he's throwing that left, don't stay there. Come on, I'm working. Coming.
Levanta. Hey, no le des tanta agua, despacio.
Jinky Pacquiao is increasingly comfortable at the big fights, able there to smile and make a motion toward the camera, but you can see the nerves underneath that countenance. She has never become quite accustomed to the notion of watching her husband fight. She tries it, she goes through it, but she's nervous the whole time. CompuBox numbers in 3, they both landed 10 punches. Pacquiao 10 out of 3, 53. Marquez 10 out of 39. Harold, how do you have it through 3?
You know, Jim, I got to tell you something. In 2 fights so far, Manny Pacquiao won both of them, both big controversies. And I'm starting to wonder whether that one-on-one Marquez style just impresses the judges enough to win a fight. He backs up. He does nothing flashy. You know what he does is very unusual. Judges like myself tend to go for the effective aggressor. I gave rounds 1 and 3 to Manny Pacquiao because of the fact that he's the effective aggressor and he looks better doing it. 29-28, 2 rounds to 1, Pacquiao.
Now we're seeing the kind of action we saw in the first 2 fights. I hit you, you come and try to hit me back. One of the reasons that we have seen flowing, sustained action from them in their first 2 fights.
I think Pacquiao just convinced himself a little bit that he can impose his speed on Marquez.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing, a lot of speed. I mean, Marquez just looks so much slower than he does. And this is maybe the fastest I've saw Manny myself. And he's keeping good balance on. I've seen him punch a lot and get out of position, but he's very, very conscientious of getting out of balance in this fight. So he's punching and getting back in position right away.
Reaching left hook for Marquez. Made contact, but not solidly. Best punches of the fight have been a couple of Pacquiao left hands in the first round and a Pacquiao right hook in the third. Now Pacquiao begins to land solidly with a left and a right upstairs. Another left hand. Slight swelling above Juan Manuel Marquez's right eye, possibly from a Pacquiao left. Marquez goes to the body with his right. I was about to say a little while ago, one of the reasons that we often see free-flowing action from them is that Pacquiao's by nature an attacker, but he's also a great counterpuncher. Marquez is by nature a counterpuncher, but he's also a great attacker. Everything that happens generally gets answered and then answered back. Marquez must be careful when reaching for those low body shots that Pacquiao doesn't time him and counter upstairs. Now Manny begins to exploit those angles. He goes by you on one side and then comes back.
He's shooting his left hand a lot of times, not with the full knockout power, but shooting it almost like a fast jab just to change up his attack, and therefore Marquez can't really time the left hand as much as he did before.
And you see the challenge for the 38-year-old Juan Manuel Marquez, fighting at a weight class far above what he's accustomed to, trying to keep up with the speed of Pacquiao, who's far more accustomed to this weight. Good left hand by Pacquiao. Marquez lands a right in return. Here we go.